Wow. Welcome back, guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about the Iflight Defender 25 again, the new drone from Iflight. If you haven't seen my previous video, go check it out. I've done a complete kind of setup guide and, you know, with flight tests at the end of it, so you can see what it actually flies like. I'm loving it, it's absolutely brilliant. The only problem is I've only got one of these batteries at the moment and they're really difficult to get hold of. Well, they're on pre-order basically, and who knows when they're going to actually come. The good thing about this drone is you can actually use it with normal lipos, so like something like that, with XT30 connectors on, because it has got an XT30 socket on it, so there's nothing to stop you using these batteries or batteries you've already got. But the only problem is it is difficult to mount this battery on the actual drone itself, because they use on their proprietary battery, which again I still don't completely agree with, although this is very nice, it clicks in. Mine doesn't click in anymore because I've actually tried to put a little Velcro strip on there, very low profile Velcro strip, so that I can use some of my other batteries and I can test out different batteries to see, you know, what it flies like on the different packs that I've got. But the issue is this is less than perfect, because, you know, that potentially is just going to fly off in a crash. It'd be alright for light pootling around, but any crash that's going to come off, although that Velcro is quite good. Something like one of these batteries that's got a decent length battery lead on it will actually plug in absolutely fine there, and it's kind of in the right, you know, position for the CG and everything else. But obviously, you know, that's not ideal. There's no way of really putting a strap around there because everything's going to come in contact with the propellers. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain to mount. I've seen somebody on YouTube who's you know, started the design of a 3D print. I'll insert a little picture here to show you. It's kind of in its early stages. I think maybe if he keeps, like, you know, developing this, it'll actually kind of look quite good, but we could do with a better solution for using normal lipos on this, because I really do think it is going to make quite a bit of difference. Now, I've managed nearly 7 minutes flight time with a 720 milliamp hour lipo. This is a HV lipo as well, whereas this is not. This is a normal lipo. HV lipo's a little bit higher voltage, 4.35 fully charged per cell, so you're getting that extra little bit of voltage, which is going to equate to a bit more RPM at the motors. So that is something to bear in mind. And also with the 720 battery, it's weighing, looking at the scales down here, 237 grams versus 241 with the standard battery on. So you're getting more flight time out of this battery. Now, I wouldn't have thought performance is going to be crazy different on the 720s. I tried 660s as well. It's very similar. The weight difference is you know, marginal between the 720 and the 660. But what would happen if you put a 450 on there? So 450 is going to really, you know, bring down flight time, of course, but 225 grams. Will it fly on this? I think it will, because it's quite an efficient build, actually. It's not pulling huge amounts of current. But let's see, we'll check out the 450 as well. Now, because these batteries we're using here are LIHV, they're not actually recognised on this flight controller. It's not recognising the correct cell count. So in beta flight, what you've got to do is just increase the maximum cell voltage so that it will correctly recognise. Otherwise, you're going to get land now and kind of low voltage warnings and everything else. Right, here we go then, guys. So I've actually got a little section in here which is heated. I've used like a kind of motorcycle heating grips, and I've kind of placed them down one side, and then I'm using my M6D charger with an external battery, and that runs, basically those heated grips run off a USB. So this feels so toasty in there, and it's obviously going to mean that the cold's not going to affect, you know, you're not going to have issues with cold affecting the battery. I've unplugged it for now because it was getting a little bit too toasty. So I'm going to try the 720 first and just have a little scan around here. It's quite bright, the sun's quite low. So go for a 720 and then I'll kind of work backwards, and we'll see what we think, different batteries. So get that fixed on there. You know, it's less than ideal for doing kind of proper freestyle stuff, but, you know, especially with me, we're crashing all the time. Anyway, set my camera angle, don't want it too crazy. I'm not going to go too mad because I want to try and actually get through each pack without without crashing. But, you know, this looks nice and dry today. No, it's not. That could have fooled me. It's actually got ice on it. I do notice with these goggles it's harder to get focused in for me than my Fat Sharks. You know, they are definitely better for, you know, the image is clearer in all more corners than it is on these for me. Let's get rolling.
Engines armed. Timer on. Engines disarmed.
So plenty of punch. It's not crazy, but it's, for a sort of tiny root thing, it's actually pretty good. As I say, I'm going to try and avoid doing any crazy manoeuvres. Not that I can really, but because I want to actually get through the pack. I want to get through each pack. He says. So, you know, you can feel the power is actually, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's got beans. So to get out of, you know, getting out of mischief, if you sort of come to the ground a little bit too hard, then, you know, to be able to punch out is, for me, my biggest kind of sort of saviour really, is what I need, because, you know, my skills aren't that great, so I need to, you know, have something. I need to always be flying something that's got enough punch that I'm going to be able to get out any bother. And this, with this battery on, it feels really good. Like doing those sort of, like, you know, inverted sort of, I don't know what those are called, but doing those, you sort of want to be able to, you know, you need a lot of power coming out of that. Like when you're coming down, put the power on, doesn't have any problem. So we're at 4.5 minutes now. We're down to 3.7, still going. See, that sort of just getting you out of bother right at that last minute. So 5 minutes.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. Really think about landing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5.
Feeling good, guys, feeling good. 3.6 volts.
1. Timer 1.
Down to 3.5 when it... Yeah, down to 3.5 when you sort of punch it out, but we're sort of getting there now, I would say. But, you know, it's not lacking any power at all. You know, right at the bottom of the pack. Okay, so we're only saying 470 milliamp hours on here on the readout, so it's probably got a way to go. But, you know, we're nearly at 7 minutes. This is kind of enough for me. Like, I would have, you know, I would have crashed by now for sure if I was kind of really pushing things, but, you know. Yeah, we're getting low battery now, but plenty of power to punch out of anything still, no problem at all. So I'll land over here and then we will resume. Perfect. I mean, battery is not even warm. It's not even warm. How crazy is that? This is giving me hope for this like 450. And not that I need the 450, because I mean that feels great, to be honest. So that's a good battery to get. That 720 is going to give you plenty of power, plenty of punch, really good. So let's try 660 next. I don't really think this is going to be that much different, to be honest, because you know, it's not that much more. It's hardly any difference in weight, and it's not that much difference, you know, capacity wise. It's not that different at all.
Engines on. Timer on.
Again, feels the same. Plenty of punch, plenty of punch. Oh, that was close. Isn't concentrating. Nice. So another good battery choice, doesn't really seem to make too much difference. Oh. No, nowhere near flat out. Go through that hole one day. Oh. Same again. Like losing concentration now probably, because it's just been flying for too long. It's got plenty of zip though, this thing, all with a kind of, you know, moderate current draw. I mean, that's like 5 amps or something at the moment. It's like nothing, is it? I've got tiny whoops that draw more than that. These are 4,000 and something kV motors as well, so they're not, you know, a lot like really low kV motors or anything. Oh. Yeah, it's all starting to become a bit of a blur now. I don't usually fly for this long, like without some sort of issue. Normally I'm pushing things, you know, pushing my limits, just sort of ripping round. You know, it is good fun. It doesn't do a huge amount. Don't do a huge amount for me. So close to 4 minutes now. I'm really interested to try that 450 because I think that's going to work really well. Oh, that was close. Plenty of beans. He's saying low battery then. So I think we're probably going to be 5 minutes or so now. Something like that with this battery. which, I mean, for freestyle stuff is like, nearly, just caught it. Right, let's land. Okay, another good battery choice. 660 works absolutely fine. I mean, if you were, oh look, my aerials come out. Did think that was going to happen actually at some point. Just like sort of got like hot glue on there or something. Yeah, I mean, if you really were pushing it, you could easily just use the 660. That seems really good. Right, 450 does feel light, but yeah, so far we haven't had any battery ejects or anything crazy happen there. It's all been pretty good. Dare say if you hit something, it's going to end up, you know, you are going to end up with a problem. It's going to fly off. But anyway, I mean, that felt, I don't know if that's just me. It's definitely needing less. It's definitely needing less throttle to you know, to hold the position, the height. And it is still very punchy. Wow. That's got some zip. You know, being a lighter pack, it should, in theory, you know, obviously it's going to draw less current, you know, just for like the simple kind of hovering and the flying, the cruising. You know what, 4.6 amps, 6 amps, 5 amps, something like that. So maybe it's slightly less. I don't know if it is, but it does seem pretty zippy. Yeah, I've hit the ground. I mean, that's got some beans, that, hasn't it? Still, just with a 450. Wowzers. It'll rip. It rips on this one, I tell you. Just that extra bit of voltage from the HV pack, and obviously, you know, the lightweight, you know, the low weight is definitely. Look at that! That's just nuts. The only way to do these tests really is to do this sort of side by side, because otherwise, you know, the difference is fairly marginal, because this thing does absolutely rip as standard. Like with the standard battery, it's absolutely fine. So 3 minutes we're at now, coming up to 3 minutes. So yeah, I'm not doing any gaps or anything like that, because I want to actually sort of, you know, have an idea of the flight time. Just, you know, doing cruising stuff. Still got the beans. And end up in someone's garden. I like that. It's good, really good. I mean, we could be approaching 4 minutes. What more do you need? Right, okay. So we've done 4 minutes. It's absolutely fine. See how warm that battery is. I mean, a bit warmer, but so that I think is a really good option as well. Right, so finally, let's try the standard battery and see what we think. So we're going from one extreme to the other here, which is what I kind of wanted to do. I'm going to have to rip that Velcro off there because I'm not going to be able to fit this battery on properly with that on. So let's have a go. You're higher on the stick for sure. Still got beans, but I mean, it's absolutely fine. It's a good battery. Yeah, you can feel that it hasn't quite got that raw power, but it's absolutely fine. I mean, Iflight have obviously done it for a reason, you know, they've kind of picked the best kind of bang for the buck with flight time and everything else. And the batteries aren't expensive, so, you know, it's not like they're sort of expecting you to pay an absolute premium for, you know, for the batteries. But, I mean, it does fly, it is totally more nimble with the 450. So if you wanted to really like push it, you could use a 450, but do you need to? This is the thing. For the sake of having the, you know, the nice battery casing and it all being pretty cool, the only downside is obviously you've got to use their batteries. They might be a bit more difficult to get hold of, especially at the moment. We're not really able to get hold of these batteries, and for a little while. So if you want to grab some batteries in the meantime, then you could use any of those packs. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. I'm not interested in like maximum flight time because, you know, it's not for me. That I don't really need that. If you're kind of traveling like, you know, long distances or doing long range stuff, you could easily put like a 1,000 on it or something and it'd probably fly absolutely brilliant, and you're going to get ages out of that. But you know, for me, I want to do a bit of kind of light freestyle stuff and hopefully not crash. 3:18, 3.6. I don't reckon the flight time's going to be that much different to the... That was quite close to my head. It sounded it. It's a great little ripper though. As I say, this quad is a lot of fun. Tad expensive. Well, it's a lot expensive actually for what it is really, but then, you know, this is the thing. If you're coming from a Varta, are you gonna, you know, build your own sort of drone, or are you gonna, you know, want to buy something that just kind of flies out of the box? I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, people flying, oh, here we go, I've totally lost myself. So 4 minutes 33. I'm gonna knacker this battery. Oh dear, oh dear. So there you go. This is going to be hot because you can't really feel anything because of the casing. But Interesting. So that was a lot of fun. So we basically determined there's not a lot of difference in flight time between the 450 and the stock battery. The stock battery is a bit heavier. It's 20 grams heavier than the 450. And that, I mean, it makes a bit of difference. And this is obviously a LIHV battery, so it feels slightly different, but it's probably not really enough to worry about. If you were really pushing it to the extreme, and I think the 450 is just going to give you the edge. On the other side of things, we've got the 720 and the 660. Now, you might have spotted on the footage for the 720, the flight didn't start to about 2 minutes in, because I was actually fiddling around with the video transmitter, which is a little bit annoying. But I do know from previous experience, we're getting around 7 minutes. It's something like 6:40, something like that. So that's quite a decent flight time. And the 660 performs just as well, about a minute less. So it's interesting stuff, guys. I mean, ultimately, you know, if you could get hold of these batteries, you might as well just use these, because they are, you know, they're good cells. Whatever they're using in here, they hold up pretty well. We'll do loads more cycles on them and see, but I mean, there's no reason to sort of, you know, doubt that this is a good battery. And with all the extra casing around the outside, it still actually, you know, is a decent performing battery. Unlike, you know, like on the Avata, where everything is heavy and it just everything just makes it feel, you know, a bit sluggish. But the good news is, whatever batteries you've got lying around, up to probably like 850 milliamp hour or even 900 without a casing, it probably means you're still going to be under 250 grams, which is absolutely brilliant for those who care about flight restrictions and stuff. So anyway, this video has been an absolute blast to film. Really enjoy flying this quad. It is really awesome. I actually feel like I want to get the frame and then just kind of do my own build on the frame, because I think you could probably do it for a lot cheaper. You definitely could do it for a lot cheaper. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I'll catch you next time.